Hi, welcome back to Selling St. Louis. I am Chloe. I'm a local real estate agent in the St. Louis area, and we're doing another segment of Questions with Chloe, where I will be addressing some common questions that I get from my buyers and sellers on a regular basis.
What does the inspection process typically look like?
Essentially, when you are looking for a house, once you find the one, once I find you the perfect one, we go under contract, and if you agreed in your contract that you wanted to have inspections done, within the 10-day inspection period, you'll get all of those inspections done. And like I said, you're going to eventually want to come to a resolution here between you and the seller. So what that looks like is you will get together with your real estate agent, you'll sit down, come up with a proposal essentially of the inspection report, and you'll say, these are the things that we do want fixed, and you kind of leave the things out that maybe aren't as big of a deal. I think things like the foundation, plumbing issues, stuff like that is something you want to pay attention to. Little things like, oh, the toilet is rocking, we can screw that, or something up with the faucet, that's not as big of a deal. Again, everything's relative. Some people do find those things to be a bigger deal, but once you put those things on paper and propose to the sellers, these are the things we want fixed, that starts your 10-day period. Again, you have a second 10-day period. You have 10 days to come to that resolution with them. So again, if you're doing a situation where you have like a 20-day close, we'll shorten this window to maybe 5 days or so. But in a typical situation, you have the 10 days to get the inspection, and then from that, you have 10 days to come to a resolution. Now, once the inspections are done, you start to kind of negotiate it as if you were putting another offer on the house. When you put an offer on the house and you go back and forth, if there are counter offers, you go back and forth until you kind of find a resolution price or what works. Now, with inspections, it's kind of the same thing. So let's say the inspections come back and X, Y, and Z need to be fixed. So you're going to decide, do you want to request all of those things? Do you want to request some of them? And that's kind of where I come in. So basically, I'll kind of suggest, they're more likely to do this. This would be better to do. We offered this much on the house. Maybe we don't need to do this. And then you will negotiate back and forth. Hopefully it goes pretty quickly until you come to an inspection resolution.
Who typically pays for the inspection?
The buyer will pay for the inspection. Again, this is if they opt to have inspections done. In some cases, with the VA loan or such, you can ask for the seller to pay for certain inspections, and that is more typical with the VA loan. But with a standard offer on a home, if you're getting inspections done, you will be likely paying for those inspections. And you do have control of how many inspections you get. If you want to just do one inspection and it's $30, you can do that. But if you want to do a multitude of them, you can expect them to be a little higher in price.
What are some red flags that you see often when it comes to inspections?
I think sometimes it's important to get more than one opinion. So we've had inspections done and it comes back that maybe the foundation is cracked in certain areas, and the inspector will, typically recommend someone or be like, this is something you want to have fixed. That is where I will have a foundation expert come in. They'll give us their opinion. And if the price is fairly high, I say, why not get a third opinion? And then kind of look and see which one we want to go with and if we want to go with one at all. You also have the option, if the prices are too high, you can back out of the deal as well. It just has to be within that 10-day period.
What are the typical inspections that are done for a home?
Each home is going to be different. If there is a home that is maybe in a floodplain, I would recommend having certain inspections done as opposed to maybe a home that isn't. Some homes are in areas that maybe the builder that built them back then, there are common problems that we see in that home, such as foundation issues that maybe if you aren't having or you don't already see that, it wouldn't hurt to just have someone come in and do a foundation inspection. Now, they're all different kinds of inspections. There's a general inspection that typically covers, the roof, the general things you're just walking around and looking at, the attic, looking at those things just to make sure everything is functioning properly. And I don't want to say they do the bare minimum because they do a lot, but they kind of gloss over everything, and then they will recommend a more in-depth inspection for those specific things if they think you need it. There are, some neighborhoods in the area that have typical sewage problems that you see more, and that would be a time where I would do my research and then going from that, recommend maybe a sewer lateral inspection or something like that.
Is an inspection required for purchasing a home?
It's not required. A lot of people do think it is, which is interesting because in the market that we had the last few years where things got a little crazy around COVID and such, we were seeing lots of over asking offers, things like that. The things, you want to do to make your offer the most attractive are having the least amount of contingencies. So people were starting to remove those inspections in order to keep different roadblocks from them to get to closing and make it look more attractive to the sellers. So I did have a lot of people, they were like, this is our house, there's 14 people that are interested in it, we're gonna pull inspections. Now, I don't like to recommend that, but we do like to evaluate just how important it is that these people get this house. And if they like it that much, I'll tell them, if this is important to you, you can, pull that out, and if you're comfortable with it. But I will never tell someone, hey, let's remove inspections, unless it is do or die situation and they need that house. I will say there is major risk involved if you're not getting an inspection. And I have had situations where people did opt out of getting one done. And again, I never really recommend it, but they did come back a few years later and say it wouldn't have hurt to get the inspection. Now, the thing is, they might have not gotten the house in a multiple offer situation. So you just kind of have to weigh the pros and cons. Would you rather take the risk and worry if there are some hidden things going on, or would you rather keep looking and not have to pull inspections out of the picture because you don't want to risk it? Going off of all this, something that's kind of unique that you can do, that I have had a lot of buyers do so that they're not risking everything, but they want to get the house in a multiple offer situation, is what we'll do is we will ask for inspections. So we have the opportunity to get out of the deal should things kind of not go well, but they won't ask for repairs. And if you are someone that's comfortable financially with making any repairs that might come your way, this is a really good option for you. What we'll do is we'll write up the contract. It'll still look pretty competitive and it'll still look very attractive. If you want to get inspections done, a lot of the times the sellers will be understanding about that. They kind of like that you're wanting to know more about the house because they don't want you backing out last minute. So, it doesn't hurt to get the inspection done. And then if you're comfortable waiving the repairs, then we can make that work too. That is definitely something that has helped me win a lot of deals in multiple offer situation for my buyers. Thanks again, guys, for tuning in to Questions with Chloe. If you have any questions regarding inspection process that we just covered, or buying or selling a home, or anything real estate related, please drop it in the comments below. I would be more than happy to answer. Be sure to like and subscribe, and we will see you again on Selling St. Louis.